Hello guys, this is Vijay from Code Academy. So in this video we are going to design the layout of our application, that is Guess the Logo app. So we are going to use all of these images. So I'm going to simply copy these images and I'm just going to copy them. Now you can see all of these images are actually started with the Q1, Q2, Q3. So that is actually denoted the question 1, 2, 3, 4 and then so on 25. And also I have a 1Q which actually just used for the logo purpose. So these are all the images I'm going to use it. So this all actually Q15, Q10 is actually denoted the question number. So you will get the complete idea once we are actually going to start the development of the application. Now I'm going to paste all of these images inside my driver directory. So I'm going to paste it. So most of you guys actually asked me to develop the image quiz, and that is how I'm going to develop it. So we don't need to use the database like SQLite or Room database, because if you use this, then it will actually going to increase your database spacing, means the only your database size will be increased and the rest of the things will remain same. Because if you are actually using an online database like Firebase and Firestore, then it's ideal to store all those images inside the Firebase and Firestore, and from there you can actually call those images inside your application UI. But if you are building an offline application, then it's better to actually store all those images inside the driver directory, or maybe you can create an assets directory inside this particular app level directory, and from there you can actually use the images. But I'm going to use a very simple approach so that it will become easy for you to actually understand. So I'm going to close this driver directory, and from there you can see I have now created a new empty activity project. I forgot to actually explain. So you should create an empty activity project in which you will get two files. The first is the activity main and the second is the main activity. And from there first we are going to design the layout of our application. So I'm going to click on that and show all layout constraints. So if I select the constraint, and also I'm going to show layout decoration, which will show the action bar and the rest of the thing. So first I'm going to change the color. So to go to the colors.xml, because I don't like this dark green color, and I'm going to select this color, and from there I'm going to select this darker one. Coming back to this, now it's look perfect. Okay, and now from there just go to the text tab. So first here I will be using a concept of linear layout and relative layout. So first I'm going to change this to linear layout, and then you can see it's actually giving the error because the closing tag is not actually same. So just copy and paste it, and then I'm going to remove this text view, and here instead of that just remove this necessary code, which is a useless code. And first I need to set the orientation. So orientation I'm going to set it to vertical, and then we need to specify the background color. So I'm going to specify here a background. So I'm going to directly specify the color, but you should use the colors.xml file. So I'm going to use a relative layout here. So relative layout, the width is going to be match parent and the height is going to be wrap content, and then I will be closing this relative layout. Instead of that, just we need to specify the background color for this relative layout as well. So I'm going to type it here hashtag, and then I will be typing 46, which I have actually noted in my notepad. So this is the color I'm going to use. Also I'm going to open the preview. So right now you can see this is what we are actually getting. Okay. Now instead of that we need to specify a text view. So here we are going to specify the text view. So text view, and the width is going to be like wrap content, and the height is also be a wrap content. So width is wrapped content and height is also wrap content. Then I need to close the text view. Then we need to specify the ID. So the ID is going to be like our name text view. So here we need to specify the underscore text view. So this is the text view ID I will be using. Then we need to specify the text. So this actually like I'm not going to specify the text. I'm going to just leave it as empty. But right now you can see just I'm adding a text. So here it will actually display the number of questions. So that is why actually just making it delete here. And then we need to specify the text size. So the text size I'm going to specify like 25 sp. And also I need to specify the text color. So the text color is going to be like hashtag 3 times FF, which will actually gives us a white color. So right now you can see this is the color we are actually using. So if I specify here like 45, then you can see this is the text will be appearing. And then you can just simply remove this text, because right now we are not going to use the text. We are going to dynamically display the text from our quiz logic. After that, inside of this particular relative layout, we are going to start another linear layout. So just place here one enter, and then after that, so I'm using a here code environment to create the code more quickly, means to create the design more quickly. So I'm going to use a height to wrap content, and also the width and height is both. I'm going to specify the wrap content. Then I'm going to close this linear layout. Inside of this linear layout, first I need to specify the orientation. So the orientation is going to be like horizontal. And then I need to specify the padding. So the padding from both sides I will be specifying like padding and 20 dp. And after that, inside of this I'm going to specify the text view. So I'm going to copy this text view to save a little bit of time, and then I will be changing the ID. So the ID of this text view is going to be like txt question, or you can just simply, so I'm not going to specify the ID of this particular text view because it's going to be a static text view. So here we are going to specify the text. So the text I will be using here. So here I will be specifying a text like quiz. This is the quiz text I will be displaying here. And then after doing this, we need to actually specify the text size. So text size I'm going to increase a little bit like 26. So 26 XP is going to look great. Text color, and also I'm going to specify here text style to bold. And after that, just remove this extra line of space. Again copy this one, and I'm going to paste it one more time. In this text view, I'm going to specify the ID. So the ID of this text view is like a quiz num underscore, and then I need to specify here text view. So this is the ID I will be using for this particular text view. Okay, so this is how we are actually using. So both of the text view. Now this one actually not going to having a text, because we are going to update the text of this text view dynamically, and also need to specify the space. So that is how our layout will look like from the top point of view. Means our top layout will now created. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to collapse this particular relative layout, and after that I will be starting here a one scroll view. So here I'm going to type this scroll view. The height and width of this scroll view is going to be like a match parent. So the width is match parent, and the height is also match parent. Then we need to close this scroll view, and after that we need to specify the ID of this scroll view. Now I am actually using here a scroll view. The reason for that, suppose if you are running this application on a smaller screen, then whatever content that will be placed inside the scroll view, like our text view and the buttons, are scrollable. Scrollable means if the screen size is very small, then user can still play the quiz by scrolling them, so that this top layout will be scrolled up to the top of and hide behind this action bar. So that is why I am using, but you will get the complete idea once I build the application properly. So first I am going to design the layout so that it will save time. Once we are actually running the application, then I will show you the problem and also the fix for that. So here we are going to use a layout weight property. So layout weight I will be using here 8. So I will be specifying the layout weight to 8. And after that, inside that we need to specify the linear layout. So here I will be specifying the spacing. So linear layout, specifying here linear layout, and then the width is going to be like match parent, and the height is going to wrap content. Then we need to close this linear layout. So again I will be specifying here arrow bracket, means angular bracket, and then we need to specify the orientation. So the orientation of this particular linear layout is going to be vertical, because we want to place a text view along with that image view. So let's get started by placing the text view first. So text view, and then the width is going to be like a match parent, because we want to display the text fully, and then the height is going to be wrap content. Then we need to specify the ID. So first I am going to close this text view, then we need to specify the ID to this text view. ID, and then it's going to like question underscore, and then here we want to specify the text view so that we can retrieve the ID properly inside the activity file. After that, we need to specify the text color. So I'm going to use the text color to like a hashtag 3x00 so that it will gives me a black color. Then I will be specifying the padding. So the padding is going to be like 16 dp, and after that we need to specify the text size. So text size I will be using 28 sp. Alright, so this is the text we are going to use. Then I will be using an image view. So image view. So I'm going to go to the design tab, and here you can see inside this linear layout, selecting the image from there, because it will also gives us a pop-up. Selecting the image, and from there you can select a one dummy image. So I will be using this image and simply hit OK. So this image is now appearing at the screen. So this is how our image looks like. Now we need to modify the content of this image view. So first we need to specify the ID to this image view. So image is going to like quiz underscore image. So this is where our main image will be stored. And after that we need to specify the width to be 250 dp. So here we will be specifying 250 dp, and the height is going to be like, you can specify 200 dp. Okay, so this is how we actually increasing the height and width. Now we can see it's actually at the very left of the screen. So we need to actually make it inside the center. So we need to use here a layout gravity property, and now you can see it's actually at the center. After that we need to specify the background color for this particular image view. So background color I will be using here hashtag 3 times, and then I will be specifying like a gray color. So first I'm going to specify 3 times 0, and then I will be changing the color to like whatever I want. You can change the color, you can play with the colors, it's totally up to you if you want a very great color, because our logos are actually having a PNG images. So that is why I'm actually using a particular black color, so that there should be a great contrast between the logos. Okay, you can also define a padding. So if I just specify here padding from both sides, going to like 5 dp. So padding from 5 dp, or you can increase it into like 10 dp if you want. So 10 dp looks great. Okay, and then after that we need to specify the linear layout, which will actually having a answer layout. Now inside of this linear layout, we are going to place the radio buttons dynamically. Now guys, I have now completed this particular linear layout specifically, and you can see this is actually the answer layout. So in that we are going to place a radio buttons, but right now this particular application I'm not going to place the radio button inside the design view. We are going to place the all radio buttons through the code. Once we are actually fetching the views inside the main activity, then we are going to place all the radio buttons, and I will be showing you how you can create the radio buttons dynamically. This is why we are actually here leaving all these things. This will be having a answer layout. We have now successfully created the layout. The only thing is left, we need to place here a one submit button. So I'm going to collapse this scroll view, and after that I'm going to specify here a button. So I'm clicking on this design tab, and then from there I'm going to select the button, and after that just closing this scroll view, also this linear layout, and then I'm going to place the button inside the linear layout, and then just coming back to the text mode of the XML. So from there we are going to modify the content of the button. So first we need to change the ID of this button. So the ID of this button is going to like button underscore submit, which will allow us to submit our answer. Then I'm going to specify the padding. So the padding is going to like 16 dp, and after that I will be specifying here a layout margin. So the layout margin from both sides is going to like 8 dp, and then we need to specify the color to this. So text style I will be specifying to bold, and then we need to specify the text size. So text size is going to like 25 sp, and after that we need to specify here text color. So text color I will be using a hashtag 3 times f, which is a pure 0, and then I need to specify here text all caps to false. And after that guys, we need to change the text. So here submit my answer, I will be using a submit. So here you can see submit my answer is actually specified. Then we need to change the background color. So I will be using a background color, and then I will be using a color primary. So color primary, or you can use this particular color which is a quiz color. So I'm going to copy this code from here, coming back to the background, and then from here we need to specify the hashtag, and then I may be placing the color. So now guys, our layout is successfully created. The only thing is left, we need to use the radio buttons. So radio buttons we are going to create inside the main activity by using the codes. We are going to dynamically place the code and making the options dynamically available, and also we are going to set the logic to those radio buttons. So this is a new thing that I want to teach you. That is why I have taken this particular quiz application, which is a image quiz application, and also I will be actually telling you how you can create the UI dynamically through the main activity, means through the Java code. So that's it for this video guys. I hope you like this video. If you like this video, then share it with your friends, and if you are new to my channel, then make sure to subscribe to my channel and also press the bell icon so that you can get a notification whenever I upload a new video. So thank you for watching guys. See you in the next video. Hello guys, this is Vijay from Code Academy. So in this video, first we are going to create a question class in which we are going to list our all the questions, and also we are going to use all of our images. So if I just open my drawable directory, all of these images we are going to use. So I'm going to just only place 10 questions. You can place more than 10 questions if you want. So I'm just going to place 10 questions for the demonstration purpose only. So here first we need to create a new class inside this particular package. So just right click it, go to new, and from there select a new Java class, and I'm going to name this class as questions and simply hit OK. Now guys, after specifying this question class, first I want to also make a one change, that I just want to remove this action bar because right now it's not looking great. You can see we are having this particular nice looking banner which I am showing a quiz. So I'm going to remove this particular action bar. So here I'm going to open the style.xml file. So this is our styles.xml file, and I'm going to just simply call it as no action bar. And when I run the application, it will remove the action bar. So inside this question class, we are going to create some arrays because I'm going to store the questions and answers and images in a form of arrays. So here I will be specifying private so that it can only be accessible within the classes, because we are going to access all this data with the help of methods. So that is why I am actually creating here private. So questions, and I'm going to name this array as questions. Then we need to initialize it. So we need to specify the curly brackets, and then we need to terminate that. So first I'm going to specify here question, like what you want to specify the question name. So I'm going to call it here guess the logo. So guess the logo, and I will be specifying here question mark. Then if I just duplicate into many times, because we need to just simply guess the logo. So here I will be specifying you can guess the logo. Can you guess this one? So just simply I will specifying here can you guess this one, and I'm just going to duplicate this too 3 times, then cut it from here so that we get different questions and paste it here. So right now we have 5 this and we have 8. So I'm also going to copy this, duplicate into 2 more times, and then cut it from here, and I will be placing in between them. So now we have 5 questions of this type and 5 questions. So now we have 10. Just remove the comma from the last one because we don't require a comma from the last element of the array initialization. Then we need to specify the choices, because our question will be displayed, like question will be displayed here, the image will be displayed. Then at the top here we are going to display the question in a text view, and then we need to display the options. So I'm going to specify 3 options because I want to display 3 radio buttons. And by the way, radio buttons we are also going to display with the help of dynamic code. So here string, and then I will be specifying here m choice is, and then we need to specify the array brackets, that is array brackets is equal to, then we need to specify the curly brackets, and then we need to terminate that. After that we need to specify the options. So I'm going to specify the option inside the curly brackets because it's going to have a group of options. So here first I'm going to write AMD, then I need to specify the comma. You can see it's actually giving the array. So I'm going to use a 2D array. We need to specify another bracket. So here we are actually using the concept of 2D array inside this particular application. Now after specifying this, we need to specify double quotes. Then here I will be typing CMD, and then again we need to specify the comma, then double quotes, and then you can specify here KMD. It's totally up to you how you want to display the question. Now before specifying the question, first I need to initialize the image array so that we can actually set the options according to the images. So here I will be expanding my drawable directory. So the first image is actually of the AMD. So I'm going to here create another array of a type private, and then it's of type string. Then we have to create here m images, which will be our images of the that are stored inside the drawable directory. So we need to store the images, and then we need to start the curly bracket, then terminate this one also. And here first I will be specifying the q1. So q1 is actually used for, like if I just specify here a comma and then a double quotes for the comment. So AMD image. So q1 is actually for the AMD image. It's like a AMD. Then I will be going to duplicate it to many times. Then it's going to 2, 3, 4, and then this one is actually going for 5. And here I want to specify the 6. Then this one is having 7, and then this one is 8. Again I'm going to duplicate into 2 more times. Then 9, and then this one is having 10. So I'm going to use 10 questions in my particular application. You can use more than 10 if you like, but you need to place the images correctly. Then here I will be using App Store. So this is actually App Store image, and here I will be specifying the name, which is a Chrome. This is a Chrome image, and then I will be specifying here Dell, which is a Dell logo, and this one is actually like a Dropbox. Then this one is like a Edge, and here this one is like a Facebook. And now this one is for our Flutter, and then this one is our GitHub. Alright guys, so these are the particular images. If you actually open these images, if I show you the Q10 one, then it's definitely a GitHub. You can see it's a GitHub image. Now you guys must be asking me one question, why I have not specified the name AMD here and Android to this particular images. The reason for that, because I want to use those images inside my another application as well. That is the reason I have specified like a Q1, Q2, Q3. Because I copied these images from my other application, which in future I will be teaching you how we can create the other application also. Now I'm going to collapse this one, and now it's time to set the answer. So the second answer choice we need to set for the particular Android question. So just again I'm going to duplicate this one, and here I will be specifying the Android. So I'm going to specify here Android. Now I'm going to type it so that you guys don't make any mistake. That is the reason this video is going to be a little bit long. So here we are going to specify the smartphone. Then this one is going for a mobile. Again I'm going to duplicate into here. Then this one is actually for our App Store. So I'm going to specify here App Store, and I'm going to leave it as Android. And this one is like our software. This one is like a Chrome. So here I will be specifying Chrome. This is a Chrome, and then I'm going to leave it as Android and software. So again I'm going to duplicate into here. Then the next one is our Dell. So here I will be specifying the Dell. Like this is our Dell. Or you can specify the capital one if you like it, because Dell logo is a capital one. And then again I'm going to duplicate, and here you can specify HP if you want, or you can specify like Lenovo, or maybe like MI for the Xiaomi. Then here the another one is Dropbox. So again use a Dropbox here. So I'm going to use here a Dropbox, and after that I'm going to leave it as this. Then the another one we need is actually our Edge. So I'm going to specify the Edge here, which is the internet browser. And then you can just simply specify a Dropbox. So just I'm going to leave it as box only. Okay, so I've actually moved the comma as well, double quote as well. That is why we're actually getting the error. The next one is our Facebook. So I'm going to specify Facebook here. And then here I will be specifying framework. Or like here you can specify like MI. Again. Then again I'm going to duplicate it here. Then this one is like cross platform. CROSS cross platform. And here we are going to specify the Flutter, because the 9th image is for the Flutter. And then I'm going to duplicate it to another time. Just I'm going to remove this comma because it's the last entry of this particular array. Then here I will be specifying like GitHub. So I'm going to remove this one, and here I'm going to specify the GitHub, and you can specify here Git also to make a little bit more confusion. So guys, now we have initialized all the choices. We have also specified the images. The next thing is we need to specify the question types. Which type of this question means it's actually all of these questions are of type radio button. So we also need to create another array of private. Then again I'm going to specify here string, and then questions type. So this one is of type question. So it's equal to, and then to specify the brackets. Then you can see it's strictly giving the error. The reason for that, I have not specified the array bracket. And after that, here we going to specify the radio button, because it's going to be a question of type radio button. Then I'm going to duplicate it to many times, and the total is going to be like 5 plus 5 is going to equal to 10. So they are actually having 10 elements inside this question type. So all of these 10 questions are of type radio button. If you want a checkbox question, then you can simply here specify the checkbox. But I not recommend you, because it will create a problem. You need to adjust the logic according to that as well. Then the last array we need to create is of type like if I just specify a string, this is a string. Then we need to call here correct, and again array bracket, then we need to equal to, then initialize it. So we need to specify here correct answer. So this array will hold the correct value. So the first value that is correct is AMD. So I'm going to type it here AMD. So make sure you type the exactly spelling name with all the capitals and small caps, because if you make any typo, then your application will not work. So here I'm going to specify App Store. Again specify the comma, and then here the fourth one is our, I think our fourth one is Chrome. So this is our Chrome, and then we need to specify the comma again. Then fifth question is of our Dell. So I have specified the Dell in the capital caps. So I have specified the Dell in the capital letters. Then after that, to specify here like Dropbox, which is our fifth question, or maybe sixth question as well. Maybe sixth question is now the seventh question is our Edge. then specify the comma, and then our next question is Facebook, which is the logo of the Facebook. Specify the comma, and then here we going to specify the Flutter, which is our 9th logo, and then after that we going to specify here GitHub. And in the last one we don't need to specify the comma operator because the array initialization done in this way. So guys, now we have set all the arrays. This is our questions, choices that are displayed inside the radio button. This is our images that will be displayed inside this container. This is actually a question type which will actually illustrate whether the question is of type radio button or checkbox or button. If you want to use a button, then you can specify here button, but you need to adjust the logic as well. So that is why I not recommend you to actually use the button. You just need to use a radio button so that you can create a radio button type quiz. And then here you can see this is actually the correct answer array which will hold the correct answer which will be used for the comparison. Now in the next video we need to create the getters. So we are going to do this in the next video, and also we are going to fetch the elements inside the main activity, means all of these views IDs. So we are going to do all of this stuff in the next video. So thank you for watching guys. See you in the next video. Hello guys, welcome back to this video. So in this video we are going to fetch the views inside this main activity. So whatever views we have specified inside this main activity, means this layout of the main activity, we are going to fetch all of these views IDs. Also we are going to create the getters inside this question class. So let's get started by first creating the getters. So let's start with this video by first creating the getters inside this particular class. So first I'm going to right click, go to generate, and from there just simply select the getter, and then simply select all of this one and hit OK. Then you can see now we have getting the all getters. Now you can see guys, all of them are actually having a M between them. So I'm going to remove this M because I don't want to use the M. So I'm just going to remove this M as. Now we get questions, get choice, get images, get question type, and also we are getting correct answers. So these are the getters that we are actually going to use for this application. Now inside of this particular one, we have not actually getting a one parameter. You can see this all the methods are actually auto-generate. These are not type of the expected ones that we actually wanted. We also need to specify a one parameter to all of these methods so that we can actually call them inside the main activity. So first I'm going to specify here int q. So this is actually like a integer question, and inside of that get question I'm going to actually create a one private variable inside this particular method, and this is of type questions. Questions is equal to m questions, and then we need to specify the q because this is our all of type arrays. So we need to actually access the array by providing this particular integer value which will denote the indexing value, because we need to create a quiz application. So suppose your quiz one question you have answered, then in order to go to the next question you need to increment the counter in all of those arrays, in all of the 5 arrays. That is the reason we need to specify here a parameter. So again I'm going to specify here int q, and you can see here get choice, and after that I'm going to specify here string, and then here we need to specify the array. Now get choice having a array. Now you can see this is actually preceded with a 2 array brackets. So I'm going to just simply set a 1 array bracket, and then here you can see we need to specify a 1 array string array variable and of type choice is equal to, and then we need to specify here m choice, then to specify the array brackets, and then a q. Here q specified the q which is denote the indexing, and then you can see it's actually giving the error. The reason for that we need to here return a choice, because we are not going to return a 2D array because we are not able to use the 2D array inside the application. It will create difficulty. That is why we need to convert the values. We are going to store the value inside this choice variable which is of type array, and then we are going to return the choice. Similarly inside this get images we also need to do the same. So first I am going to specify here string, and then again we need to specify the name of this particular variable. So it's going to be like emg, which is short for the images, and then I'm going to specify here m images, and then I need to specify the bracket which is q. So I need to first specify the parameter integer q. Okay, and then I need to terminate that because we are inside the Java, not inside the Kotlin. And you can see now we have the get length. So we also need to create another getter method of a get length. So I'm going to create the get length method. So here we want to specify like a public integer. We want to create a one more method which is a public integer, then get length brackets, then angular brackets, and then we need to specify the body, and here we're going to return m questions. According to the questions we are going to return the length, and after that we need to terminate that. After that we need to specify another parameter inside this get type which is a get question type. So I'm going to just simply make this as get type, which will denote the question type. Here we want to specify the integer and a parameter which is a q. Then again here we want to specify string, and then I'm going to specify here type. Type is equal to, and it's going to equal to m question type, and then we want to specify the q as a variable, and then replace this type with this question type. So it's actually giving the error. The reason for that, it's actually having an array bracket, so remove this array bracket. Okay, so now the error is gone. Inside this get correct answer, again first we need to remove this array bracket, and after that to specify a parameter which is of type integer q. Because guys, the method is auto generated, which will works well in case of this single variable without array, but we are using the array variables. That is the reason it's actually not properly generated, so we need to make this correct. So here we need to specify the name of the variable correct, and then is equal to, and then m correct answer, then specify the parameter q, and then terminate that, and then we need to replace this correct with this m correct answer. I actually forgot to copy, paste it. Now you can see the error is gone. We also need to return the question instead of m questions, and then we need to remove this array bracket. The only thing we are using the inside this choice, and now inside these images we also need to remove this array bracket and just replace this images with m images. Now everything is actually perfectly set up. All the methods are now set up. Now it's time to fetch the views. Now you can see still we are getting the error. So here we are actually getting the error. The reason for that, we have not specified the terminator. So guys, this is how our question class will look like. Now the question class is set up properly. We can use this question class inside the main activity for the quiz logic. Now first we need to create here bunch of variables so that we can use them inside the quiz application logic. So first here I will be creating a variable of a type private. So making some spacing here. So private, and the first one is like a image view. So image view, and then just simply name this as mquiz image. So this will actually hold the mquiz image. Then I'm going to create another private variable of a string which will denote the m answer. Okay, so this will denote the answer. Then again a private variable of type integer, and this will actually store the score. This is actually like a store. So first I'm going to initial value of the score is 0. I'm going to set the initial value to 0. Then private, then again we need to create another integer variable, and this is actually mquiz num, means the quiz number. It's going to equal to 1. So by default we are starting from the 1. And then again we need to create another private variable of integer, and this is actually the question num, means the size of the quiz. This actually will denote the size of the quiz. So it's going to having an initial value 0. And after that we need to create another variable of our text views. So here we need to specify the text view, and then here we need to call it that questions view, and I'm going to duplicate it, and then I'm going to replace this one to mquiz number. So this will actually display the quiz number, mquiz number view. And after that, the last variable that we need to create is a variable of the questions class. So questions, and I will be specifying here m questions is equal to, and I'm also going to allocate the memory with the help of this new operator. Now you can see all the variables are declared at the top of the onCreate method. Now it's time to specify the IDs for our view variables. So the first is m question view. So this is our m question view is equal to, and then we need to typecast it. So you can typecast it, but I'm not going to typecast because it's work well. .id, and then we need to specify the question text view. Simply hit terminate. Then again I'm going to specify the mquiz num view is equal to, and then we need to specify find by id, and then here to specify the quiz num text view. Then we need to terminate that. Also I'm going to specify here a one button because we have a one submit button, if you know very well. So button, this is our button, and I'm going to call it as submit button. Submit is equal to, and then here I'll be again specifying the id submit button, which is our button submit. And now I'm going to set the listener to this submit button. So submit button just set on click listener, because on click of that when you want to perform we want to submit our answer. So view dot on click listener, and then you can see it's not completed, so I need to again type it. So we need to set the listener to this particular submit button. So set on click listener. Now you can see the code is completed automatically. Now instead of this we are going to write the quiz logic. So here I will be specifying the quiz logic comment, and then after the end of this onCreate, now here we are going to create a method to actually show the image. So here I'm going to specify private void, and then I'm going to call it as show main image. Then start the body of this method. Now this method will actually call the mquiz. So here first we need to call mquiz image is equal to, first we need to get the id because without getting the ID, if you try to get it, then we will get a null pointer exception error. So you need to specify quiz image, the ID of the image view. After that, I'm going to create here a variable of img, which is a short for the image. Img is equal to, and then I'm going to specify here mQuestions dot get image. So we're actually having a method get images, and then we're going to specify here question num. Then we need to terminate that. So we have actually passed the integer value, and then when you set the image, so mQuiz image dot set image resource, and here we're going to go to get resources. We're going to call the get resources. That is this one, get identifier, and then again we're going to specify here get identifier. Now instead of the get identifier, first I am going to specify img, and then the name of the directory in which our all images are stored. So it's actually a durable directory, durable, and after that we will specify another comma, and here we will specify the get package name. If I just simply click on project tab so that you can see the code more clearly. So through that we are actually setting the resources to our quiz image tag view, that is this one. Now guys, that's it for this video. In the next video we are going to create the radio buttons dynamically, and then we are going to fetch the data and display it inside the radio buttons. So we are going to do all of this stuff in the next video. So thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Hello guys, this is Vijay from Code Academy. So in previous video we have initialized all of these views, and also we have created a method to show the image inside the container. That is right now you can see. So this particular method will show the images inside this particular image view by fetching the images from the durable directory. Now in this video we are going to add the method so that we can create the radio buttons dynamically. So let's get started with this video. So first I am going to create here another private method. So we need to specify the private keyword, then the void, which is the return type of the method, which is actually going to return nothing. Then I will be name this method as show radio button. So after specifying that, we need to specify one parameter. So here we are going to use an integer parameter so that we can fetch the particular number of the question. So here I will be specifying qnum, which will denote the quiz number. Okay, so first I am going to specify here another final variable, not a finish, it's actually a type of final. And then I am going to create here a linear layout, and then we need to specify this as an answer layout, the name of this particular variable. I am going to specify the answer layout is equal to, and here we need to specify the find waiver ID. So you can specify the find, not fund, it's like a find waiver ID, r.id. And then I'm going to specify the ID, that is answer layout. So I have specified the ID as answer layout. So if you forgot it, then I have actually given the ID to this particular linear layout as an answer layout. So I'm actually fetching this particular ID inside the main activity. After fetching the ID of the layout, then it's time to create a one radio group, because for working with multiple radio buttons you need to create a radio group. So radio group is actually part of the android.wget package. Then I'm going to name this as RG, which is short for the radio group, is equal to, and then we need to allocate the memory so that we can access it. So here I'm specifying the radio group. Then we need to pass the context, which is this as a parameter to this particular radio group method. And then after that we need to specify here RG dot, and we need to set the orientation. So the orientation is actually like either you can set the orientation vertical or this kind of thing. So orientation, and then you need to specify the integer parameter. So you can see @int def int orientation. It's actually giving you the suggestion. So here we are going to use the radio group. This is the radio group, and then you need to specify the vertical, or I am specify the vertical. Either you can specify the horizontal as well, but we are going to specify the vertical. And why vertical? The reason for that, because we want to place one radio button here, and then after another radio button in the another line, then in third in the another line. So we want to place the radio buttons in a vertical formation. After doing this, we need to pass the parameter. We need to set the linear layout parameters. So linear layout dot, then we need to set the layout parameters so that we can pass the radio group as a parameter. So layout params, which will actually use to pass the parameters dynamically. Then LP is a short for the object would be linear layout dot layout params. Then new to allocate the memory allocation. Then linear layout dot layout params, and then we need to specify here bunch of parameters. So the first thing, so we need to specify here bunch of parameters. So first I'm going to terminate that. Then inside of that you can see there are a lot of error lines out there. So first here I'm going to type the linear layout dot, then again we need to specify the layout params, and then match parent. The width is actually like for the match parent, then again you need to specify the comma, then again it's actually linear layout dot layout params dot, and here you need to specify the wrap content. The height is actually a wrap content. So if you just go to this layout params, so you can see the first parameter is actually expect a width, the second one is the height, and the float weight, which is optional. Okay, so we are not going to specify the float weight. So this is how we specify the property. Then we need to actually remove the comma for the last one, because that is why the array initialization is done. Like you have specified the parameter, So it's like a function that has a parameter. So in order to separate the parameters, we need to specify a comma. So that is why the rest of them is actually not going to use a parameter. Okay, so after doing this, just come outside of this particular linear layout params, and then here to specify the rg.layout params. Layout params, because we need to set the parameters to the radio group. So that is why we have constructed the first layout parameters. After specifying the layout parameters to the radio group, we need to set the padding. So again, I am going to here type rg.set padding. So we are setting this all properties through dynamically. That is why all the things are actually similar. So I am going to specify here 90. Then from top is 0, because we don't want to specify the padding from top and bottom. And you can see top and right I have not specify the padding, and also from bottom I am going to specify the 0. So that is 0 for the last one. So from left side I have specified the padding 90, so that our radio button will be at the center. Okay. So now after specifying the padding, it's time to actually create the radio button inside the array list. So for that, we need to create here a first variable of a final, not a finish, and automatically finish will be specified. So here I will be typing radio button, because we need to create the radio button array. So I'm going to specify a radio button and then rb1. I'm going to name this as array, then new radio button. So I'm going to specify here 3, because we want to create the 3 radio button 0, 1, 2. So we are going to start from the 0, and so I'm going to here use a for loop int, and then I'm going to specify I is equal to 0. Okay, and then the syntax of the for loop is very similar, smaller than and is going to equal to 2, and after that we going to specify the terminator. Then again we going to increase the counter. Alright, so here it's actually giving the error, and here we going to specify the terminator as well, because I have specified the comma. That is why we are actually giving the error. Alright, after doing this we going to specify here rb1, which is the name of our array. Then it's actually with the help of indexing we are actually getting the values. Then first we need to allocate the memory to that particular radio button which exists inside the 0 index, then radio button, and here we need to specify the this as a parameter. Then we need to terminate that. After doing this, again we need to specify the rb1. Again here you need to specify indexing. Then whatever radio button which is exists inside the 0 index, we need to set the text for that radio button. So set text. Then here we need to call the mQuestions, which is the mQuestion object we have created at the top. Then we need to call here get choice, and here we need to specify the quiz num, which is the qnum variable, and then again we want to specify the array brackets with the I variable. Okay, so this is how we are actually passing the parameter. Now you can see the error is gone. What we have done here, first we have created the radio button array of 3 index, so it will have only 3 radio button will be exist, like radio button 0 which exists in the 0 index, then radio button 1, then radio button 2 which is exists inside the 1 and 2 index. So first the value of the I is 0, then 0 value will be here, then it's actually going to create a first radio button, then first it allocating the memory, then after that we are actually setting the text. So we pass the get choice method with quiznum and the indexing value, multiplying that value with qnum. So this particular get choice will actually going to have 2 values. The first is the get choice. If you actually see the get choice array at the top, you can see it's actually having a 2-dimensional array, 2D array. That is why we need to provide the 2 indexing. So that is why we are actually passing here 2 integer values. The first is the qnum and the second is the this particular value which is I, okay, which is the indexing. So after specifying all of these values, we need to set the another value, that is a radio button text color. So rb1, and then here I will be specifying the I, which is the I, and then dot set, which are used for the text color. So I'm going to set the text color. So all of this property we are actually setting that dynamically. That is why I chosen this application, so that I can teach you the advanced stuff like this particular. So we are actually setting all these things through XML, but now it's time we are actually setting all of this thing dynamically through the loop. So again here we'll be specifying rb1 dot, and then it's going to set the padding. So we are going to set the padding. So you can see here I forgot to actually specify the indexing with the array brackets. Then here I'm going to specify the set padding. Then padding from left is going to 8. Then from top I am going to specify the padding like 16. Then from right I am going to also specify the 8 padding. And then from bottom I am also going to specify the 16 padding. So you can change the values if you like. If you're actually not happy with your values, then you can change the values anytime you want. Then again here I am going to specify your set, which is a text size. So text size, I am going to type the whole property. You can see it's actually now text size is appearing. So here I will be specifying like 24, or you can specify 25. So I am going to specify 25. And then here I will be specifying rb1 again, which is a radio button array name, or you can say the radio button array variable name. And again setting the property which is a set id, and I am going to specify here I, which is an indexing variable value. So it automatically sets the id 0, 1 and 2 to the respective radio button. Then again I am going to specify the array name of the radio button array, then I, and after that specify the set width. So here we'll be specifying the set width, and then I'm going to specify here 500, which is in pixels. Okay, so through that our radio button will be created. Now it's time to add a radio buttons to the view. So means we need to add these particular radio buttons to the radio group. So here I'm going to specify rg dot add view method. We need to call the add view method, and then we need to specify the rb1, and inside that we need to specify the array bracket, so that according to the value of the index it's going to add the radio buttons to the radio group. Because if you want to work with the radio buttons, you need to use the radio groups. So guys, through that we are actually able to create our radio buttons, and now it's time to set the listener to the radio buttons. Radio group has a set on check change listener, so we are going to use this particular listener, and then we need to specify new, and here into type the radio button. Then you just simply press a tab key, it will automatically complete the code for us, that is on checked change listener. Inside of that we need to set the things for the quiz operation. So first here I will be using answer layout dot add view. Again we need to call the answer layout dot add view method, add view, and then here we need to pass the rg, because if we not call this particular method, the layout will not be added to the answer layout, which is our linear layout. And here you can see we need to set the listener. So first I'm going to here specify the m answers, which is our answer variable, which is we have defined at the top, and then you need to specify m questions, which is our m questions, and then we need to specify here get choice according to the choice, and after that we need to specify here question num. Now here we are actually writing the logic, and then you can see here I will need to specify the array brackets, and inside of that we need to specify the id. So I'm going to specify here check id. So ck id I'm going to specify this variable name, or you can say check id, or you can simply specify the id, because I don't want to make it more confusing. So I'm going to specify here id, and then we need to terminate that. So according to that it's going to check the answer. Okay, so we are going to write the quiz logic from the next video onward, because it's a very long method and it will take a lot of time to actually type this code, and I explain each and every step to you guys so that it will become more easy and clear to you. So in the next video we are going to start the adding the quiz logic to our this particular application. So if you like this video guys, so share it with your friends, and if you are new to my channel, then make sure you subscribe to my channel by pressing the bell icon so that you can get notification when I upload a new video. So thank you for watching guys, see you in the next video. Hello guys, and welcome back to this video. This is Vijay from Dino Code Academy. So in this video we are going to create some more methods. Then after that we are going to add the quiz logic inside this button on click method. So first we are going to add another method of type private. So this method is also not going to return anything. So I'm going to specify here private, then void, and then I'm going to name this method as update questions. So this particular will be used to update the questions like our images and the rest of the thing. So I'm going to specify the body of this method. So this one is actually not going to expect any parameter. So first we need to get the instance of the linear layout. So here I will be specifying linear layout. So make sure you are using a capital one, a linear layout, and then you can create here answer layout, answer underscore, and then I'm going to specify here layout is equal to, and then here we need to first find out the id. Now why we again need to find out the id of this particular linear layout, because we are actually using the linear layout in the other method. That is why we need to again get the id of the linear layout. Again I need to specify the answer layout, and then after that we need to specify the terminator, and then answer layout is equal to, then answer dot layout. Then we need to call here first remove all views, because if we want to set the new question, then we also first we need to remove the previous question, and also we need to set the variables, that is m answer to actually empty string value, because we need to make the entries again for the new text. Now it's time to set the value. So again I am going to make here some spacing, and just I'm going to connect these three lines of code, because these three are similar ones. And here after that here we need to specify m quiz num view, and after that here specify the set text, then m quiz num. So this will actually tells the whatever length of the quiz, and after that means the number of questions, and after that here we need to specify the m question view. This is the m question view dot set text, and again here I'm going to use m questions dot, I'm going to call it here get questions. Remember these are the getters we have created inside the question class. Then we need to pass here m question, which is not m question, it's going to simple question num. Okay guys, so after doing this we need to check for the condition. So here I'm going to specify if m question, because we need to check for the question type. So here m questions dot get type, which is a getter method for the question type, and here to specify the questions num is equal to whether it's a radio button question. Remember I told you that if you want to use another quiz question, like if you want to combine the quiz with the check button and the radio buttons, means check boxes and radio button, then you can do that. So I'm actually specifying here a radio button. So make sure this entire spelling is same as like this one, like we have specified here. So I'm just going to copy a one value from here, and then I'm going to paste it so that it will become exactly same. And after that, here you need to call the show radio button answers by passing the integer value, which is question num. So through that, we are going to call the question num. We are going to update the values of the question. Also, we need to call here a show image. So show main image method, so that we can update the image as well. And after that, we need to actually here specify the ID of the scroll view, so that we can scroll. So scroll view sv is equal to, then find view by id, then r.id, and then here we need to specify the scroll. So actually I have not specified the ID to the scroll view, I think. So ID, actually this is the ID of the scroll view. Paste the ID and then we need to terminate that. Then again I'm going to call here the object of the scroll view, then dot set. Then you can see here we have different kinds of methods. So we are going to use here smooth scrolling, smooth scroll to. So I'm going to specify 0 from both x and y. Now guys, this particular is actually completed. Also, if our answer is correct or wrong, then we need to create two methods. I'm going to simply display the toast. So I'm going to call here private void and then display. So this will be used to actually display a toast. So toast correct when the answer is correct. And you can do that. And again I'm going to duplicate that, and this will be used when toast answer wrong answer. Okay. So instead of that, I'm going to just simply display a toast statement. So here I'll be writing a toast, just using this bottom one, and then I'm going to type it here correct. Now I have actually used here a simply toast statement. So whenever the answer is wrong and correct, then it will going to simply display the toast. So here I will be changing into wrong. Now if you want to display a custom dialog, then you can follow my Go Quiz app series, in which I already teach you how you can display and create the custom dialog. Now guys, all the methods creation are done. In the next video, we are going to add the quiz logic inside this on-click event of the submit button. For ending this video, I want to do one more thing. We need to call this particular update question method after the code of the button. So here I will be calling update question. Okay, so now the things are done. In the next video, we just need to simply specify the quiz logic. So we are going to do this step in the next video. So thank you for watching guys. See you in the next video. Hello guys, welcome back to this video. This is Vijay from Code Academy. So in this video, we're going to add the quiz logic inside this submit set on click listener. So let's get started with this video. So first I'm going to remove this comment. And by the way, in previous videos, we have created all of these methods. If you not watched the previous video, then I highly recommend you to watch the previous video so that it will become more clear to you what we are actually going to do in this video. Now first we need to check for the condition for the question type, whether it's a radio button question or a checkbox question. So I'm going to type it here questions. And then we need to call it here get type, because questions is actually an object of the question class. And then here we need to check for the quiz num, because we need to first check for the question number is equal to, if it is actually a radio button. So I'm going to simply copy that from here so that I don't make any typo while typing the name of this particular thing, just to use some safe coding. After doing this, if this condition is true, means the question is of type radio button, which is definitely is going to true, because we have all the questions are of type radio button. Then we need to type it here questions, and we need to check for the correct answer. So get correct answer. We need to check for the get correct answer. Then quiz num according to the index of the array. We are going to equals, and then here we need to pass the answer, in which we have a correct answer. If it is the case, then again we need to start the if block. So first we need to increase the value of the score. So here I will be typing score is our variable score plus with the help of this post increment operator, which is a unary operator that works on the single operand. And here we need to call the display toast correct answer. So it means that our question is correct. And then we need to check for the condition else to display the second method, which is a display toast wrong, which will display the wrong toast message. Now this is the end of this particular if statement inside the logic. This is how we can check for the correct and wrong answer. So I'm going to just simply collapse this code, means compact the code. And after that we need to pause for a second. So I'm going to here use a system.clock. So or I can just simply use system clock dot, and here we need to just simply call a sleep. So I'm going to sleep the UI for a 1 second, so that we can perform a 1 second delay from the next question. Suppose we have completed the first question, then it's going to sleep for the 1 second, then the next question will be visible. Okay, and after that here I'm going to specify if questions num is equal to questions, that is this one, questions dot get length, and we need to specify the -1. Now if the question num is actually reached to the end of the quiz, then here we need to start the result activity to set the data to the result screen. So result activity we are going to create in the next video. Just I am going to complete the quiz logic in this video. Again here to specify the else statement. Now start the block of this particular else statement. Here we need to actually increase the quiz, which is our question num, which is the question num counter variable, because that will keep track of the questions, whether the question 1 or question 2. Then here we need to use quiz num and also need to increment that. So after incrementing all of them, we need to call a update question method outside of this particular else block or this if block. So here I will be specifying update question method. Now instead of this particular if statement where we actually need to start the result activity, so here we are actually going to set the question num, means our question num is equal to 0, and here also. Now why I am setting all these values to 0, the reason for that, once our quiz gets completed, when we start a new quiz, then we want to initialize and all these variables to 0. Okay guys, so now the quiz is completed. We have used all the methods that are necessary to build up the quiz logic. Now it's time to run the application to see whether this particular logic is working, our quiz is working or not. So let's get started by just simply clicking on this run button. Now it will take time to actually build the application. For the first time I am actually going to build the application. So here you can see, now this is our quiz will look like. So the first question is of type AMD. So I'm going to click on this AMD, and if I just simply submit the answer, then you can see we have actually get the correct answer, and you can see now we get a next question. You can guess the logo. This is a Android, and I'm going to select the Android. If I click on submit my answer, then you can see that is the correct one. Okay guys, so now our quiz is working, but our UI doesn't look very great. So we need to fix the layout. So first I'm going to the activity main. So this looks okay. So if I just see the application, the text is also very good. Also we are actually getting the quiz number and the submit button is, but right now this is not looking great. So what we need to do, this is our linear layout and this is the linear layout. So this will be the entire linear layout and this will be the linear layout like this one. I'm going to specify some margin from top. So margin from top I will be specifying like 200 dp, and 200 dp is very big. I think I need to specify 100. If I run the application to see the output screen, so here you can see our application is now again, now that's look perfect. Now we want all of these radio buttons to be actually visible at the center. So to do that we need to make change inside this main activity, I think. So here you can see we need to specify the padding. So here we are actually specifying the radio buttons, set padding, and we are actually setting the padding from left. So if we set the margin, I think, so first I need to actually going to increase this pixels width. So if I specify here 1000, if I run it again, then let's see what this particular will actually perform the result. So now you can see our application is again running. So if I just select this AMD one, if I submit that one, then you can see now our text is actually appearing properly, because in previously the font text is appearing at the next line. Now it's actually solved the issue after specifying this 1000. Now the next thing we actually want to increase the padding. So if I just here increase the padding from left is like 100, then let's see what will happen. If I again run the application, then you can see it's actually performing the padding inside the text, and we want to actually move these circles as well. So again I'm going to specify here 10, and to perform the padding we need to actually perform the padding to the RG group, I think. So here we can increase the padding. If I specify here padding like 100, not 1000, it's like I specify here 200, I think. Again if I run the application, now it's actually changed its position. If I specify here 400, let's see what will happen. Okay, that's actually hit and trial guys. So now you can see our radio buttons are appearing at the center of the screen. Now again guys, I'm coming back to the layout. You can see here right now this is very huge, so I also want to perform some spacing in this one. So margin top is going to like only 60 dp, and for this image view, that is this one, I'm going to specify the margin top. So margin top for this one is like 60 dp as well. Now it's time to run it to see whether the how layout is look like. You can experiment with the layout. I'm just going to give you some suggestions. So now you can see it's look great, and also I want to give some margin to this image view also. So margin top property to this image view, margin top, and I will be specifying like 40 dp, not 40 sp, it's like 40 dp. And for this one, which is a linear layout, I'm going to specify like 40. Okay, then I'm going to run the application again to see how this particular will look like. Then you can see our application. Now that looks more perfect. You can experiment with the layout screen guys, it's totally up to you. And for this image view color, I'm going to just make it into a little light color. Because right now it's looking very bad, or you can just make a white as well if you want to see a white. Not entirely white, if you want to see a little bit grayish like this one. If I again run it, so now you can see this, now the changes are reflected back to the application. Now guys, this is how the layout will look like. And if you go to the colors.xml, you can change the color accent color. If you want to change the radio button color, you can specify here black. If I run it again, then it will actually change the color of the radio button when you select the radio button. If you see, now you can see the radio button is actually having a black color. If I hit on, then you can see now the next question is appearing, which is Android. So make sure you are using a dark background, because right now images are very light. So that is why I actually use a darker one. So you can use here a dark gray color. So it's totally up to you how you want to change your layout. It's totally, you can enhance the layout. You can follow my Go Quiz app series to actually know more about how you can change the layout screen. So that's it for this video guys. Now from next video onwards, when we complete the quiz, we want to actually display the result inside the result screen. So we are going to create the result screen in the next video. So thank you for watching guys. See you in the next video.